these fun times in Barovia. Got with us the special, friendly, and great at opportunities Undertaker, Necromancer, Ezra Pheras. You with it? We've got the did it with a candlestick in the library, broken champion fighter Segrid, played by Miss Misery. We've got the glamorous glamour bard Dantiir, played by Thambreas. We've got our Team Lunk, ASMR Grave Cleric Toren Forester, played by Squid Kittens. Okay. And Team Stake Strahd with the Tree, ASMR Devotion Paladin of Sune, Anna, played by Bad Wolf. We're all back. / werewolf.
Currently very Team Jacob.
She came in Team... What is the other one's name? Edward.
Edward.
She leaves Team Jacob.
Team Jasper forever.
Yeah.
I think when Burger King came out with those, I got the Team Bella card, and then that was just... It's like, that's perfect. That's how it goes. So when last we left our heroes, we had, as mentioned, Segrid had taken care of Strahd's master servant, Rahadin, the Dusk Elf, right there in Strahd's own study. With a little bit of assistance from Aya Glenmere, a nice ally from way back in entry into Barovia. She had been here from a bit of Faerun as well. Herself and her 2 students had come in lost. 1 student remains. The other one is spider food. Both of them had succumbed to Strahd's invitations. And by invitations, I mean vampirism. But Aya took care of that, seemingly having bided her time. And now she's got some place for all of you to go. Dantiir, Toren, and Anna are over there at the Solenka Pass, having been led there by Kirill Stoyanovich, one of the leaders of the evil werewolf band in Barovia. The Children of Mother Night, they call themselves. But you overcame them, a little bit of help from all your pals in Vallaki, as well as just opportunity attacks. It's just nice to have friends in high places. And Mount Gakis is one of the highest places here in Barovia. So high, you've got these nesting birds of quite big feathers, and the large stony pass is in front of you. There's a gate and a portcullis and a green flame surrounding it. And higher than that, there is a bird whose wings blot out the sky. It's a rock, seems to be nested nearby. It hasn't spotted the lot of you, as you haven't quite approached the pass, but right behind it, you see, just beyond the pass, Castle Ravenloft, good 60 feet in the air, floating with, looks like water draining out the bottom, and just kind of hovering a little bit over a point where the rest of us know is the Amber Temple. Deep within is one Ezra Pheras, who has been given the opportunity from Count Strahd himself to make a deal with some dark powers to revive their long-lost mother. Instead, Ezra decided that, you know what, maybe escape is a better option. Spotted a nice crack in the temple walls, and I want to say it was Misty Step out into just kind of like another treasure chamber with big amber golems, to which Strahd was maybe not too pleased, but before Strahd could do or say most anything else, the protector lich for the temple, perhaps, the guide at any least, seem to be regaining more and more of their memories, perhaps due in part to how many souls Ezra might have fed him by just stuffing a whole bunch of body parts into a soul box. Strahd had planned on giving him just one soul back. Ezra might have given a little more, a little boost, little, like Ginkgo Biloba, but fingers, and that's how it goes. So if y'all don't mind, let's roll some initiative and let's see which group will go with first.
Yay. Oh no.
Nice. This looks pretty good. That's kind of like the lowest initiatives we could have, except for one. But okay.
I almost got 20 on that.
Hey, I'm average.
That's true.
Toren says defensively.
So Toren's at a 10, Dantiir's like at a 20, and Anna's like at a 2. Let's average that one out to 10. And maybe an 11. Segrid's at a 3 and Ezra's at a 9. This works out really well. All right, so we're going to go with the group at Solenka Pass first, and then we'll go to Ezra back in the temple, and then Segrid with all the machinations that are going to go on as the sole player in Castle Ravenloft, literally the most trapped place in this entire campaign. Bless you for being there. All right, I'm going to have a little fun.
Acid.
That's the stuff. Okay, so Solenka Pass. There's a couple people here out with you. You've got the entire, what looks to be like the entire townsfolk of Vallaki. Most of that crowd that's not real able-bodied is dragging behind the rest that have come really southward. And it looks like some of the people mixed in with them are also coming from the walled town of Kresk. You recognize some of the old ladies. There's even one of the persons there that you had personally helped to deliver a little baby.
And burn their house down. Almost.
Not that one. This is the campaign where it's
we
like...
caught the curtains on fire. Someone caught the curtains on fire.
Well, that's true. Man, this is the campaign where it's going to like, that house we burned down. It's like, well, which one?
No, not that one. It's the other one. Oh, no. The other one.
Right. So baby Jesper is still over there, still not making quite any noise, which is very different from most babies. And personal experience. And but you've got other good pals up here at the front, as well as some able-bodied persons. So you got Viktor Valakovich, young NBTeen, who's got this nice big trench coat and maybe a little too many things stuffed in his pockets, and really tiny notebooks that he likes to scribble down his spells in, as well as your pal and mine, that good old Kolyanovich, Ismark the Lesser, who, I mean, is the only Ismark left, so is that really...
Ismark the only.
Ismark the only at this point. He kind of likes the ring of that, and he wants to know what's going on, especially with the werewolves that are kind of like at your feet. Well, at least one at your feet.
Yeah. We've got Kirill. Is that his name?
Kirill, yeah. He's definitely one who's been stabbed a lot of times.
Yep. And he's kind of our prisoner at the moment, correct?
Mm-hmm. In the unconscious, kind of bleeding way.
Yeah.
Other werewolf we got here is Alina Vaduva, from way back, who Toren had personally saved in the kind of way that, Toren has successfully done a few times.
Is she in wolf or person form at the moment?
Let's say person form.
Okay. I'm just going to ask her, do we need to keep him alive, and gesture to the werewolf who is unconscious?
There are many who would follow him. I have no love for him, though. And she kind of gives him like just a nudge so that he's not exactly face down anymore into the snow. And perhaps we could feed him to the bird.
Could I do like a nature check to see if I think that like that would work, or like survival?
Yeah, sure. Medicine
which
also,
would you-
maybe.
Um,
Yeah, because I take it the bird guards the pass. Toren
Yeah.
asks Alina, because she would know.
that's an 8.
Sure, birds might eat wolves of this size. Maybe it's like a rat snack. You'd probably have to get them closer. Alina asks if you have any catapults. Victor shakes his head no.
No, but in the meantime, we can at least tie him up, should he come to.
That is a very good point. Who's got some rope?
I got rope.
Yeah. Alright, Dantiir doing
I'm
some
up.
time.
Yeah.
Torn. Ismark's up, got a nice clap on your back. It's like, good to see you. Looks you up and down. It's like, you look alive. There are many singes on your coat. And he's just
I'm
kind of
just
like
like-
feeling your shoulder
Ooh.
Dead
part of the
man.
pauldron.
Ooh.
Like face and with no preamble whatsoever, just looks at Ismark and goes, your sister is gone.
Getting some Game of Thrones throwback there.
He's still kind of like picking apart one of the singed parts of your top cloth, and it's like, I suspected as much. I mean, she wasn't here with any of the ones from Kresk, but where has she gone to? I assume you found her somewhere safe.
Reach over and put my hand on his shoulder, and still deadpan, because this is Tammy not wanting to have this moment. This is not Toren. Look him straight in the eyes and say again,
He's got this slight
your
smile.
sister is gone.
He smile's like slightly faltering. What do you mean, Toren?
I mean, it was a good goodbye, and she is beyond the touch of Strahd. I wish I could give you the entire story, but we have things to do.
It looks like he's going to need a moment, but he kind of just swallows and decides he's going to have that moment a little later. And just kind of gives your arm a squeeze that you have onto his shoulder and says, like, so long as she is safe from Strahd, I'll hear that story yet. And he looks up in the direction of Castle Ravenloft floating in the sky. It's like, are we on then?
Much as we'll ever be.
Okay, he's got his hand off your shoulder and pats his rapier a little for a little assurance, and he looks to y'all like, well, what will be the plan then? And
Can I sneakily drop a spell on him before I walk away?
okay, go. What you want?
I'm gonna drop a death ward.
Okay.
Aww.
Like, do the subtle, like, return shoulder squeeze and then try to casually not let him know that just cough. Spell.
This is verbal and somatic, so that's kind of exactly what happens. A little pat, 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 spell. There's a slight glow and tinge, and though Ismark doesn't know it, he's got 8 hours of protection from death. That if he was to drop to 0 from taking damage, he instead drops to 1. And then that's as good as it gets.
Takes 9 hours to get to the castle.
Why are you so mean?
I want to take a look at this. You said there was like flame.
Yeah, a little bit closer to the portcullis, there's a nice big green flame.
Can I Arcana that?
Oh, sure. That's why
16.
Very nice. So you think that as this is kind of the guard towers and portcullis stone looks pretty normal here. There's lots of little winged statues above it, things that look like demonic vultures with horns on them, and the portcullis, even as you approach it, it just kind of raises by itself. The wall of green flame is still there. You do get the sense that this is some sort of either a conjuration or a transmutation, some effect wherein that is real, actual magic flame, not illusory. But since the portcullis raised by itself, there might be a way to get through this flame, or at the very least, if it's magical, then if you've got a way to turn off magic, that might be a good deal. Before we go further, how about Anna? As the ASMR Paladin of Sunni, what's your take on this? Also for the new allergic reactions to silver.
She's staying away from anyone that has silver on them.
These people are mostly poor folks, so it's good enough.
That's good. Good.
Just being near me makes you want to vomit.
Yes. Was that the silver though? No, I'm kidding.
Who can say?
Just a little concerned about the flying castle and would like to head that way as soon as possible.
Okay, do you want to head there under your own power, or you want to gather people through around?
Does it look like everyone else is ready to go?
Yeah, for the most part. There's a bird in between here and there, but other than that, it looks like a kind of a straight shot.
I say we take on that bird.
Or we just try to pass it
Avoid
by
it?
without
Oh
engaging.
yes, I know, but I mean, let's go there.
So the fire is blocking us. Like
Definitely.
there's no like secondary path.
It is a pretty sheer cliff down
Right.
the east and west side. It's like a bit of foothill in between this mountain, and then just beyond it, you can see the Luna River and a stone bridge that goes beyond. So, like when you take a look to the left, you can see it. The guard pass kind of continues. There's that stone bridge. If you could fly, that would be one way to get over it. Then there's the air patrol, but that's about it.
The fire. You said it was when Dantiir just examined it, right?
Yep. I will like just be like, we could. I think we should be able to dispel it if we want to.
That's what I was gonna say. Is it magical? I can attempt to dispel it.
That'd be worth a
Either
shot.
you or me.
Anna will walk up and cast dispel magic. Fire.
Oh, nice. Fantastic. So this works. The flames kind of disappear into the ether. There's still a ethereal heat in this area. So you think that this isn't going to last for a very long time. Whatever spell has put these flames here, they put it here with permanence. So you have temporarily pushed these flames away.
So let's hustle on through.
Let's move quickly.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So as you get through that guard pass, there's a really, really big bird who comes screeching down directly at you. This is just a nice big rock, and to put it out.
Did we remember to bring the werewolf?
Yeah. We've got
Did
him
you-
with us.
Okay.
We've got him with us.
Sure.
Who's the strongest to give him a toss?
Not me.
I have a strength of 15.
All right. Let's get
Hey,
You guys can each grab a side and toss him.
Oh yeah, okay. Let's help each other toss the werewolf.
okay.
And
All right. You-
I am going to cheer them on to give them inspiration.
Sure.
You can do it.
You
Everything
can do
we've
it.
done before has led to this moment.
So you've got a, I believe it is a D8. Yes. I'll give it to Toren. D8.
So it has come to this.
What do we need to roll?
Let's give it a nice athletics roll to throw.
Roll to chuck a werewolf.
8 with my +6.
Oh,
It's amazing.
Hold on, I got a D8 of inspiration to add to that.
oh yeah!
19.
But still a 19.
That's amazing. Okay, that's
And
Now-
tries to help. Toren is just like, nope.
I'm just feeling a little off today. I might
Well,
need
you know, it's probably because I'm wearing silver.
Yeah, probably. I go to help you and I end up throwing up on the werewolf.
Just all over the werewolf.
It happens. Okay. With giving that a good toss at this very huge rock, this gargantuan bird, it kind of swoops in. And it's come from maybe the eastern side of the mountain, and it's definitely coming directly for you. But as soon as you have given it this delicious, delectable...
Doggy snack.
Yeah, I would call it a
Doggy
Scooby
treat.
snack. This is a different kind of doggy treat than most others would expect. But it kind of just goes a big scoop up in its talons, and then you just see it like bite down. And there's a little bit of a shower, a little bit of a sudden rain. For an anime plug, it'd be a little bit of wolf rain, and
You, sir, are a monster.
I mean, it's a really large gargantuan monster, I'll say. But with that, the rock kind of takes this pieces. It's definitely got still part of a body hanging right out of its mouth in such a way that like one might have like a little mouse with a mouse tail, except this is a person with legs and a little bit of fur. And that one just kind of clears the way. So you've got the rest of that pass really clear as this rock kind of takes away a swoop. That's another difficulty that's been cleared.
Kendrick will prestidigitation away the wolf dripping.
The wolf blood, everything that's around.
Yeah. Be like, we'll get rid of that.
Nice. The last section here, the stone bridge that goes over the Luna River, it's got these low walls that just kind of enclose the stone bridge, maybe a little lower than waist height, and a lot of them have fallen away in places, but the bridge is intact. There's just one thing as Anna gets closer and forward. There is a black cloaked rider on a charcoal colored horse guarding the middle of the bridge. And he's definitely got his hood up, and that horse has definitely got some dark red hair for his mane.
Does
Is
it
it on
look
fire?
like Strahd again?
We've met his horse.
Yeah. Is it Beliphalophilis?
Snuffleupagus.
Yeah, is it Snuffleupagus?
It's either him or Bucephalus, the horse of Strahd.
That guy.
One of those two things, yes. And the horse kind of stamps and snorts there in the middle of the bridge. As if daring you forward. Though its rider is mostly silent.
Can we
Is it-
pass?
Does the rider look tangible, or do I think this is some sort of illusion?
There are two ways to find out.
Can I Arcana?
What are the
you-
two ways?
One's
Throw a rock
Arcana,
at it.
and the other one's a rock. But you already made the rock go away, so just let's try a...
Oh, 10.
You beat me on this one.
Alright. With the 10, you've got a 50-50 shot. This is either Strahd, or a duplicate, or a clone, or an illusion. You also think it might be Strahd and his pony. He is standing pretty defiantly there in between you and getting to the castle.
I'm gonna shoot him with my hand crossbow to see if it goes through him.
Go for it.
13. Probably doesn't hit him.
Actually, goes pretty well. This one, though, I'm going to say that the crossbolt is kind of lost over the side of one of the missing walls. Well, that cloaked rider looks up. The crossbolt passes right through, and you do see the face of Strahd von Zarevich there in the saddle. And with a sneer, the rider disappears, as if ash in the wind.
I killed him, guys.
Is the horse still there?
Nope,
So-
no. Horse is also
Okay.
gone.
Okay. You said the rider disappeared. I'm like, crap.
The rider has, like, a
remembers you.
group.
Okay.
Okay, at this point, I want to ask you a special choice here, in that you do have a lot of villagers, and they have enough tools to be a hefty mob, or a shapeshifted army, or maybe too many people. You do also have Viktor Velakovich, a young wizard of some renown, and Ismark Kolyanovich. Who of these do you want to take forward with you?
Ismark, Victor, and Alina
Yeah.
are my votes.
Yeah.
All of them.
I like.
They are all prepared to follow you into literal hell, because they have nowhere else to go. Victor may have needed to fill you in. There was a vampire attack in Vallaki. It was in the middle of the festival of the sun, and it just burst out of some of the buildings and tried to basically decimate the town. A lot of places were on fire. They don't know where the sheriff is at this point. He was kind of seen fighting off some of the vampires, and everybody else kind of ran for it. Victor got some cats out in time. Doesn't know where they are at the moment. He thinks they're with Segrid and Ezra, but he hasn't been able to contact really well. Oh, and he's got this kind of hand cannon of some kind. It's got silvered ammunition. He doesn't know quite how to use it.
Can I take a look at that?
All right, he hands you over a very, very special thunder cannon made by one Hannah, of no relation to Anna.
I've
Dantiir remembers it precisely.
very well. Do I like looking at it? Do I think I'd be able to use it?
You think you can figure out which end is what?
Okay.
You'd not get any proficiencies, but it'd basically
Yeah.
be using your dexterity
My
bonus.
dex. Yeah.
You gotta have a soft touch with Big Daddy, so.
And it's got 6 silvered ammunition. That's about it.
Okay. Can I just gonna like pat him on the shoulder and be like, "This is potentially very dangerous. I don't want you to hurt yourself, but we might be able to use this."
He lifts up a part of his trench coat, and you see that there is a gunpowder burnt section of it. And it's like,
Yeah. Yep.
I think it'd be all right if you took this off our hands. Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna do that.
I just don't feel comfortable bringing the elderly and the decrepit.
Yep. No, I'm with
They want to play.
There's an old lady like with a torch, like,
I
give
want
me
to
my
play.
teeth. Give me my teeth back, Strahd. You stole them in my youth.
She has so much vim and vigor for this fight.
She spits.
The old people have nothing to lose.
That's true. It's true. If Segrid were here, you know what she would say? She would agree with me because she knows.
I don't even know why I bother.
All right, angry mob right behind, and then Ismark, Vallaki, and Alina with y'all leading the charge. All right, straight to Amber Temple and Strahd. Speaking of, Ezra Pheras, you are in the Amber Temple. Last you heard, you're in one of the lower chambers. So, like, actually one of the lowest of lows. And that's because they brought you here. There's a lot of dark crystals. There's a lot of, well...
My cat is stuck. I'll be right back.
They're stuck cats. Well, that's canon.
I mean,
There's a lot of catacombs over here to keep the cat things running. And...
catacombs.
Oh, good. I put a bookmark. The... Ezra, I need you to roll a quick wisdom check. Just straight up wisdom.
Okay.
If it gets bad, don't worry. I'll have you roll Constitution.
18!
Nice.
Hey, no modifiers.
So what you've got is like a repository of terrible and deadly and alien and malevolent spirits, all being trapped in this very, very magical place. There is around you, very specifically, just piles of treasure in the room where you had just escaped into. There is a door that Exithanter did give you the spell password for, Daviton, and I think when you said it, the doors opened just wide. And you can see basically the floor of one of the, a floor of a section that you had not really seen before. It's just nearby, on the other side of that really, really grand 40-foot statue of, now that the Sphere of Darkness is gone, you can see that the head is a faceless wizard. And you know that there's a secret stair inside of here where a nice little old man had helped you fake his death.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be right back.
So behind you, treasure in a room full of amber golems and piles. And behind that, crack in the cave wall, where you hear a very angry lich having an argument with a very weary vampire lord.
Okay.
Yeah, they are shouting something about, you promised to leave me alone to my researches, and the Strahd saying, like, I did leave you alone, you old fool. I got what I needed from you, and I left you alone, and look at you, you've done nothing. You've learned nothing and had nothing. I am the one advancing for a route out of here, and you have contributed absolutely nothing to this. Don't you point that finger at me! And then there's a really powerful shock and blast. And Ezra, the last thing that you hear before I ask you like exactly what you're doing is that lich Exithanter just saying one word, and it's kill. And then there's a very powerful blast down there.
What?
Okay, what you doing, Ezra?
Is that what? So the way I came from through the crack, is there an? Do I think that that's the only way to go back, or is there like further on that maybe I can?
Well, since you're back in the room, it's a rather large room with the big statue.
I'm back in the statue room?
Yeah, you're back in statue room. So there's actually way down, like maybe 80 feet from you, the set of double stairs that go up, and that's the exit, actually, to Amber Temple.
Yeah.
That was the entrance / exit.
Should I just try and run for it?
I mean, that's always an option.
Scared. About how far do you think it is?
Oh, it's about 80 feet.
Yeah, I can run that.
Yeah, all right.
It's gonna be like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
That's fantastic. Okay, that's a really good move. There are doors kind of to your left. You see into like old cracked chambers. The flight spell Strahd had blessed you with is like gone at this point, so running on feet is about the what you can do. You're passing just small openings, what look like into hallways nearby. On the opposite way far end, another 80 feet to your right, you see others. And as you reach the base of the easternmost set of stairs, you get just to the bottom of them, start running up. At the top of the landing, maybe just another 30 feet up, you see a tiny floating skull, and you can see it because it's in bright green, and it's coming from outside of just this little room that had been up there. Strahd and you had just passed it right by, and as that tiny skull kind of floats up at the top, there are two more that kind of float up next to it, like tiny little bats. And they kind of look around as they focus on the movement in the room, which is you. And that's when you see the green glow around them just flash for a second as they release some fireballs
Oh,
from
great!
these tiny, tiny flame skulls.
Those wouldn't happen to be able to be counterspelled, would they?
They might be. What you got?
I mean, I gotta try at least one counterspell before I die.
It's a good plan.
I'm just gonna cry and oh yeah, sure. There you go. Oy.
There is convenience, and there is... Okay, so counterspell, nice third level, and let's just check with these little scully boys that they have some... The good news is there's only one who's kind of like there at the top of the stairs near where you are, so that's the only fireball that's going off. So as that fireball comes streaking down the stairs right at you, Ezra, you get a nice counter spell off. And so let's see, the fireball being exactly level 3 for a base counter spell does dissipate right in front of you.
Yay!
So that you see the skull kind of give a very... It doesn't have a shoulder to shrug. Instead, all it's got is like a jaw to be distended a little bit, and it was nice and open, and now it's just kind of out of slant and it's kind of work its way back, and that's the end of the fireball spell for that. So a nice dash, a nice counter spell, and there's two others over there. And as the last thing that you hear from be very, very faint behind you before you quite lose the sound of everything is Strahd's voice one more, almost too far, too quiet to hear, saying like, "Look, we'll make one last deal, one last bargain. The mists, you fool, the mists. We'll use them." And at which point it's a little too quiet to hear any further. So we're going to go to Segrid real quick. Segrid, you are in the floors of Weeping up in Castle Ravenloft, as they are commonly known to everyone. Everyone knows this as the floors of Weeping. And which means that you're there in the study. And oh god, here's the actual floors of Weeping. I actually got lucky. Alright, here's level 5. As we're looking at it on the Roll20 bit. And so otherwise, can you see this room?
Nope. Can't see a thing.
Okay, good. That's terrible, actually. And because Castle Ravenloft has like 11 different floors and all full of traps. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Dynamic lighting. Turn that off. How about now?
Let me put it over your bigger screen. Yeah, I see it.
Okay. So current occupation would be about here. That really nice plush room. It looks like it's a big, nice table and a bunch of sofa couches around it. Aya fills you in a bit on the layout of this place. She's been here for the last couple of days. That ever since you all came here from Arashnau village and headed out, where they kind of had to be here as extended guests. So you've got the layout for the floors of Weeping as well as a little bit of above and below. You know now that there is a treasury right here on this floor, and Aya kind of lifts up one of the pokers for the fireplace, and through the flames there, you see that a secret door has kind of opened up behind there. The treasury is that way, but so far as I know, only Strahd himself is able to go in or out. Unless you have some ability to wriggle through arrow slits, I think those riches are going to stay there. The castle, I haven't figured out exactly how he's controlling it or moving it. It might just be an extension of himself, but I have a few ideas. Downstairs, there is a room, one in which some sort of ancient machinery meshed with something akin to technology I would assume elves would be up to in maybe 1,000 years. Allows one to teleport to various locations around Barovia. I think that's how Strahd has been able to follow and track everyone.
That makes sense.
The other area of interest, well, I think the castle might be alive, and it has a heart. And she points out that the heart sits about 2 floors above you. You would need to take like a different set of stairs and sneak through some sections. But there is a literal giant beating heart. And all she knows is that there's a connection between the heart and Strahd and the castle. She knows that he has arcane technologies downstairs, somewhere below the ground floor, and that deeper than that are the dungeons, for which she has tried to avoid going down. But you do know that Emil Tornescu, one of the what Strahd described as a failed leader of the werewolves, he lies below there.
How long would it take us to go get that? There's a werewolf in the dungeon I need to get. How long would it take us to get up there and then get back to where the heart is?
So long as there's no trouble found on the way, shouldn't take us more than... what's your base speed, Sigrid?
My sheet's closing. I'm having internet issues again, as always.
All right, let's...
30.
30, okay. Then it shouldn't take more than about 5 minutes either way, so long as you just go fairly direct and no problems. So 5 minutes down,
Right.
and then I guess 10 minutes up.
All right, I'm gonna double time my way down there to go get him out and bring him back up to where we are. If they come with me, it'd be better, but I can do it myself.
Okay. Nimble really, really wants to stick with you at this point, especially given that he's not a vampire anymore. Though some of his wounds are now bleeding, he's kind of amazed at it, and he kind of gives it a gentle lick, and he's like, "It's gross," and just. But he seems happy about it. Like, it's gross. I don't want this blood. I mean, I never really drank my own blood, but I don't want it. I don't want it. And he's almost giddy with himself. I don't want it. Aya kind of gives him a pat and says like, "All right, let's lead you down. Hopefully we can avoid some of the nastier occupants." And with that help give me either a stealth check or a perception check to kind of help avoid some of the people around, zombies, werewolves, witches. Nice. Of course I clicked on something. What'd you get, Segrid? Because I'm getting back to that page.
I got an 18.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay. Okay. Not only do you get down to the dungeons with very little getting your way, you do see this this kind of like repair zombie. He's a guy with blue jeans. You've seen him before. Ordered to go up and make some repairs. He seems to come down. There's something familiar about him when you see his face. You can't quite place it. It looks like besides the hammer and tools, as you bypass him, as you continue down the stairs, he's got like what might be like a wolf tail hat just stuffed into the back of his jeans, and it's like a raccoon skin hat, except this one definitely doesn't have any rings. Aya points him out and says, like, it's just the handyman, just pay him no mind. And points at one other room on the way down. It's like, this might be something or might be nothing, but let's just pass quietly. This is the accounting room. And she literally means that Strahd has an accountant. And tax day is coming. And you know what? Taxes haven't been delivered in quite a while. And they're expecting a lot. She says there is some treasure in there, though every time she's tried to make conversation with the little old man who's in there, he seems fair content. Just she wouldn't trust him. Mm-hmm. But going all the way down to the dungeons, you do come to those same watery filled rooms that you had been teleported into yourself a while ago. And Emil Tornescu is rather morosely down in the water. He has gathered up some parts of the dead dwarf and kind of stacked it up against the rails, and using one of the some of the armor and the bones, he's kind of made like a seat so that he's like, you know how you can sit in like a sauna and then just imagine somebody slumped down so that just their neck is right here above the water. And it smells bad down here, but the water level seems to have gone down a little. That's really good. And so there's Emil there, and he's locked himself in one of the cells that does have a working lock. So.
All right, I'm gonna try the same thing I did before, is try to shove the axe in there and just wrench it out.
Okay, yeah, since you did this before, let's say that this just is gonna work whatever the time that you spend in it, and he still hasn't moved. Like,
come on.
What? I led you out once.
Yeah, and I couldn't save you then. I can now. Either get up and come with me or stay here and die. And I'm staring him down straight in the eye.
Segrid's a mean dance mom.
He kind of gives there's a full like half minute of him considering whether he should just slip off this dwarf and just die at this point. For at least it would be painful and it wouldn't be quick. But he wouldn't have to be in this castle anymore. Yeah, and then he remembers that werewolves can't die like that, so he's like, fuck. And then he just gets up. Walks across like, you don't have much silver on you, do you?
I've got none. Oh, wait. Yeah, I never got my sword back, so I don't have any silver.
Okay. So like, good. I think it's her. And he's pointing out to Aya and just like, I've got a comb, I guess. It's like, would you mind? And Aya kind of sighs and digs around in her pockets, and she takes the comb and she just throws it down the way, and you see Emil just kind of give a sigh of relief. Says like, "All right, where to, Grand Leader?"
I'll look at her and just say, "Take us there now, please."
Okay.
And before she starts, I'll start running up to where I know I can get, and just kind of waiting for her to catch up so she can take over.
Nice. Okay. So with that in mind, then what you get is about 10 more minutes traversing some stairs. There is a couple of rooms where you do have to wait in order for people to pass. There's you're pretty sure are a couple of witches, and they're chattering together about something about a glove, something about a powder box, and how they hate how every time they try something it just doesn't work out, that this place must be cursed. Wonders how the hags do it, and they pass on by, and then you get to go past a grand foyer. The gargoyles at a certain point do look down on all of you, but Aya just kind of gives them a wave, and Nimel kind of hides behind everybody. Emil, though, is a little more wary. Okay, they stare back, and they kind of stare back at each other, and it's like they stay on their plinths as none of you are making any motion towards the front doors. And so, getting onto the other side of the castle, you go up several more sets of stairs, and as you do, this is it's a dark section, and there's thundering that goes on, that rattles very sonorously at this point. But you step out onto one last section of parapet, and actually outside, and the wind is cold, and the sun is, as always has been here, not visible. And out here in the very, very cold, very, very high regions of Mount Gacchus, you can see out to the north and east and west. And to the west, there's a bit of forest, mostly mist. To the south, a great amount of mist, like going up and meeting with the clouds. To the east, you see the remains of some old town, maybe. There's like some walls, what used to be a village, mostly swamp at this point. You think you might see like a house moving around there, but it's Barovia. You know what? Whatever. It's a moving house. Forget the chicken foot at all. North of you, though, there is very clearly a mob of people on a bridge heading in your direction, though they're very, very, very far down. You're at this point like 120 feet above them, high in the upper echelons of the central tower. And Aya points to one last room. And going into this one, there is a very, very loud beating at the sound of it. There is a strong wind across the slender bridge that you cross, and those old railings have rusted away until you get to the room with the heart of sorrow. There is a mosaic floor that adds a touch of color to this otherwise dark and cold and empty tower. And there's a spiral staircase that slowly rises into darkness, a roof that is in shadow. Because in the center of this room, there is a reddish glow of bright flare. And it's from a high overhead, and with every beat of the heart you hear, you can see it pulsing. It is filling with full immensity in this tower. It's a crystal heart pulsating with that red light. is maybe 10 or 15 feet wide, and looking at it, you almost feel certain in your heart this is a part of Strahd. This has his same malice. This has his same sneer. This has his same stupid face. But in veins, in arteries, in crystal. There's a large number of battle axes arrayed along the wall. There is a very, very empty center of this tower. Only the stairs that wrap around, going up and down, and the bridge that you're arriving in are exits or entrances to this place. What do you do?
I look at the group with me and think, how long do you think will take all of us to hack this apart?
Aya raises up a finger, glows with a small firebolt, and Nimble, who has absolutely nothing but like little fists. And so that's maybe a little longer for them. But behind you, Emil Tornescu transforms, raising himself up a full 7 feet with claws and dark hair. And with his mouth open, he says, 5 minutes.
I'm gonna take out I take out my great axe and just grin, and I'll start to see like my face from blood red, because I'm gonna start raging and just run after that thing.
Nice. That's when all the battle axes on the wall magically animate. Okay. Back up to Dantiir and Toren and Anna. You are at the base of a nice bit of temple. Their castle Ravenloft is 60 feet above you. You can see that the water is flooding out from some very poor plumbed areas. Just it seems to be constant, dripping in some places, just going swirling down. But it's definitely just hanging there in the air with nothing holding it. Seems to just be steady. A lot of cold.
Great.
Get up there.
And you said it's 60 feet away?
Yeah, the base of it, you see some aqueducts, some cisterns, the kind of, I would say pipes, but not really. So it's like stone.
And there
Waterways.
isn't a handy dandy like rope ladder hanging down, I'm gonna guess.
There's none.
Okay.
Can we see the entrance to the temple yet?
Yes, so this is floating just over the base of that. So you see very, very large statues of pure amber, it looks like. There is an entrance, there is a great crack in one of the sides, just to the west of that entrance. But there's a good 3 huge statues, maybe 20 feet tall, in these little alcoves. The center entrance that you see an open door, and then another 3 alcoves of 3 other statues.
I will look to Dantiir and Anna. And who should we try to find? I can only find one of them.
Do we actually know that they are separated?
It doesn't matter. I can only find one of them.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Either one. I mean, if
I have more confidence in Sigrid's ability to take care of herself.
Fair. I am going to cast Locate Creature and try to find Ezra.
Okay. How's that work?
Describe or name a creature that's familiar to me. I can sense the direction to the creature's location as long as they're within 1,000 feet of me. If they are moving, I know the direction of the movement. I can't locate it if there's 10 feet of running water that blocks the direct path between me and Ezra.
10 feet of running water?
Yeah. The
10
spell
feet
can't
wide.
locate a creature if running water at least 10 feet wide blocks the direct path between you and the creature.
But
It's
not lead
hydrophobic.
or stone or...
Nope.
Nope,
Okay,
it's
sure.
just water.
It can be in a lead vault, like 20 feet thick. But
Yeah.
if there is 10 feet of water in between you two, you're
But
out.
also,
How
if
the examples are such as a human or a
Or a
unicorn.
unicorn.
if you want to be really generic. But no, I'm looking for Ezra.
Alright. You just say that prayer out loud. It's like, no, you know, Kellenvor, just... Ezra. That's what we're looking for. That's who
he's sort of on the right path, and realistically, he needs me, so you should help me find him. Please.
As Toren, your senses expand, and you've done this.
Never.
You've seen never. You've seen it done. You've heard it. You've practiced, and just kind of, you know that you're meant to extend your awareness out. It takes a few moments to really extend all the way to 1,000 feet in radius. You know the Castle Ravenloft is nearby. You look up, you look askance, you look in the temple. It's going to be one of these places, and like almost as soon as you've closed your eyes in prayer, you open it again, like less than 100 feet away from you, directly inside this temple. You know for certain there is Ezra Pheras, and they're moving at kind of a rapid pace, coming ever closer.
I could have waited 30 seconds. Dang it. I will keep the comment that this is how it always happens to me to myself. Because I'm
His
trying
mark next to you
be
is
more
like, this
positive.
always happens to you, does it not?
I found Ezra.
Where is he?
We should see him shortly if he continues the way he's going. And
Oh,
I look towards the entrance to the temple.
well, that's convenient.
Yeah, I'll look through as well. Do I see like an Ezra-shaped figure running towards us?
Oh, I'm very glad both of you are there. So you do see very green fireballs, and so I need you to roll dexterity saves. The two of you.
Oh no.
I did not make it.
Well, I didn't move towards the door. I just gestured towards it.
Oh, it's fine. Fireball has a really big range.
Oh, here we go. Nope.
Nice.
So this bright streak of green flame is launching out of this door, and it's pretty big. It's got a nice range of 150 feet. So with what do you got for your saves? My page is still loading on there.
We
I got a
both
6.
failed. I got
Nice.
a 10.
Did I need to do it too?
Where are
By the
you?
way. I am with the mob.
I'm going to say that that's a little far enough back. The fireballs
Okay.
are centered right there at the entrance. So that would be about 26 fire damage then.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ouch.
And from behind them, you definitely do. Ezra, there's a fireballs that are happening just above and away from you. That's certainly good points. And you do hear very familiar screams.
Oh, that's
Wow.
comforting.
Wow.
Anna, what do you want to be doing?
I am hyping up the mob. I am just
What do we want, Strahd?
Vampire.
When do we
We're
want
gonna
him
kill this
now?
Vampire. We're gonna retake your land. He's oppressed you for too long. I'm just like getting them all riled up.
Nice. Give me a nice charisma check on that.
I am not great at these. Okay.
That is surprising.
Yeah.
Oh, 16. Not too bad.
Okay. This mob is in a riot. They are frothing at the mouth. They even the baby Jesper, who has not said a thing in these 2 days of being alive, seems to at one point give a cry for the rebellion. And then absolutely opens his eyes for the first time, and his mother is so proud as he gazes upon Anna and says, "It's about time that you all made it here."
Wait, the baby said that?
Yes.
Wait, what?
You know how long it took to find an empty vessel? They don't just get born every day, you know.
What the hell? You're a baby.
And you're obviously some other twin soul thing. We don't have the time for this. Get in there, grab the power, then we can defeat Strahd. That's how this works.
Who is we?
Grab the what?
Grab the powers that lay within the Amber Temple. This is the place where Strahd himself got his
Who
powers.
are you?
Tiny baby?
The tiny baby
Small
gives a
child.
big yawn. It's like, I don't have much time in here. He's very sleepy.
Just say your name! Say your name in the time it took you to say the things!
At this point, the baby's head like lolls back off to the side.
Oh, I can't
Support
say
the
it.
neck. Support the neck.
The mother comes by. He's like, "It's a miracle! It's a miracle! The baby is fine!
Your
Jesper!
baby is creepy.
Your baby is speaking complete sentences.
He's an advanced baby! He has been blessed by."
This is why I said we should have left them behind!
Who are you?
The mother looks over at Anna. It's like, what lord do you follow?
Oh my god.
Is it the morning lord? Ever glorious in his faith?
It is not the Morning Lord. And
What?
right now I've completely blanked on who I follow. Because that baby should not be talking.
Sune!
Yes.
Praise to Sune, the new lord of Barovia. Praise
Hey,
to
I
the
did
baby.
it! I completed my quest.
All right.
Ding.
The baby is asleep. It just like dead asleep in this, and there at the front, we're gonna go to the inside where Ezra Pheras. There's some familiar screams. There's one skelly boy floating down the stairs in your direction, and the other two seem to have wandered off out towards the entrance. You'll probably have to deal with them one way or the other.
Okay, so how far is Skelly Boy from me?
About 30 feet. Top of the stairs. You're at bottom of the stairs.
Okay, can I... Can I just Misty Step right behind it and then keep booking it?
100% you can. That's
Okay.
that's how magic works.
Yeah,
So you just kind of go in a direct path and then out as you book it.
Right behind it and then...
Yeah. So doing that, there's still two. Now that you're near the entrance, there's like one set of doors off to your left. That's definitely where they came out from. There seems to be like sort of a sulfurous smell coming from that way. Off to your right, there's another set of double doors, but those are closed. And as you go out the front, you can see there are two flame skulls floating here. They're floating a good like 4 feet in the air. And directly in front, having been singed and partly on fire, are Dantiir and Toren are right there in the entrance. And you see like this big mob of people with like waving a baby over their head, and this and Anna be behind them. So friends on fire, and then 2 skulls in between you and them.
Oh, cool. What is happening? It's a very crazy thing to just run out and see.
It's true. Let's have some speeches of free action. Dantiir, Toren, Ezra, here reunited at last.
Ah!
Ah!
Just kidding.
Like,
I like the idea that Torin and Ezra just lock eyes, so we're both like, ah!
Yeah.
The 2 flame skulls just say ah. They have no vocal cords. So we get to go back to Sigrid. There with the Heart of Sorrow, locked in some deadly combat here. So what you've got is a set of stairs that go up. They're hugging the tower wall. There's another set of stairs that go down, and they're about 15 feet wide. Large stone steps at that. Otherwise, in the center, like a good 30-foot diameter, there's just like this plummet that goes down the depths of the tower that look like they've got a floor somewhere down there, but it's really dark, especially with the contrast of the floating heart. And the heart is at least like 15 feet up above the floor here, though if you took some of the upper stairs, you'd be able to get much closer, like within about 5 feet of it, because it's a little higher up in the tower. And then there's absolutely some floating axes coming towards each of you there.
Okay, I thought you had said it was like floating a little bit above a mosaic, not like in a tower sort of thing.
The mosaic is the like the landing that you're coming in from. So there is like a landing on this part of the tower, and then stairs that go up and down around.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna poke the spellcaster next to me. I am sorry, I can't remember her name.
That's Aya.
Emil? Aya, okay. Just gonna poke her and say, can you shoot with some of those, or a heart, or something, just damage?
I can do it from here, yes.
And I'm gonna head towards the stairs.
Okay.
So I can get within backing distance of the heart if I can.
Okie dokie. So in between you and the stairs, there's this flying axe that has animated and getting you there. And what do you want to do about it?
I don't want to use the wind fan yet. That's going to start to get overwhelmed, I think. So I'm just going to take a smack at it with my great axe.
Okay, go for it. This is hard and durable materials.
Oh, and I'm raging too, so I get 4 more damage too, right?
Oh, yes, of course.
So that's 24 damage total.
That's
I
amazing.
hit with the 15 and an 18.
Oh, definitely. Okay, that actually destroys this flying axe right in front of you, so you can continue on your way up. Getting up those 15 feet up the stairs off the mosaic, you have this heart right in front of you, and from below, you see Aya wind up and throw out bits of fire bolts, and the heart is not in a position to really dodge for much things, so you do see it take damage, and
Excellent.
you don't hear anybody scream or yell, but the heart is wounded, and you see just some parts of the glass shatter off. Nimble is himself kind of grappling with one of the flying axes and has tried to wrangle it to the floor, at which point he's mostly just like laying on top of it. With that's kind of what he's got.
That sounds like him, yes.
The werewolf Emil Tarnescu is almost playful in the way that he is allowing the axe to slice into him, as it does no damage to him, being of werewolf form. And he takes casual swipes toward it, but that's not something he seems to be worried about. He says, Go ahead, finish it. And so, Segrid, what you want to do?
I am going to use 2 smacks with my great axe. Plus, I'm going to use action surge. So that should be 4 shots altogether, right?
Yes.
Cool. Bane is raging. Add that. So 16, 21, 26, 15.
All of those hit.
Time to math some damage.
Oh gosh.
So that's 8 to start with, and then yeah, I can't do math, so someone has to.
53.
Did you say 53?
Yeah.
72.
That.
Grab my calculator and just see. I can't do math. I'm
There's
gonna have to
13 plus 14 is 27, plus 13 is 40, plus 13 is 53.
Good stuff. Okay. There was a little bit of damage done to the Heart of Sorrow by Aya with her firebolt, and that was like a bit of crystal and glass that broke out. As Segrid is wailing into it, there are 4 screams from outside the tower, and behind everybody in the open parapet door, 4 vampire spawn clamber in from outside of the castle. As you've all seen, well, some of you have seen that they patrol, and having sensed the heart in danger, Strahd may have sent these in to destroy those responsible, though Emil and Nimel and Aya are holding them back forcibly as Segrid strikes another hit and another hit and another, until this heart shudders, stops beating, and its light dims as the interior of the tower turns dark, and it shatters completely. The damage from it exploding something from within, and as it shatters, its crystal shards transform into blood, showering everyone in the interior, flowing down the center of the tower, coating every step and stairwell. And there, behind you, Ezra, just as you're getting to the last steps out of the Amber Temple, as you're right there at the doorway and the entryway, you were too far to hear any further of conversation between Strahd and the Lich. But what comes next to your ears and to Dantiir and Toren, Anna, and even the people on the outside is a cry so terrible, so strained, so enraged, that it pierces your ears, your chests, and your very souls. And at once there is a great and turbulent mist outside and within the Amber Temple. And Ezra, there is a motion of this mist as it comes up and out and flows out as if is being suctioned out from the very interior of the temple. There is a storm and a rage as if every bit of air and wind and moisture is being forced out through this entryway, and the flame skulls are themselves tossed and pushed to the side, their flames almost going out. Ezra, if you could do me a quick strength saving throw as this great wind and rage funnel through the very entrance where you are.
I rolled a 10.
Yeah! You absolutely knock into one of the flame skulls. Though not in a damaging way enough for yourself, but you are knocked out of the Amber Temple, and there is this roar in the air, and this mist of malevolent force streams out of the temple and goes directly up and flows into every available window and entrance and doorway into Castle Ravenloft, and there is one final shout that everyone is able to hear. Your end is here! And I think that's time for a break.
No.
Secret's fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
4 out of 5 united. That's a good one so far. And you've broken Strahd's heart. How dare you?
Shot through the heart. You're to blame, Secret.
The baby is creepy.
The baby is unsettling.
The baby lifts like one eye open, says like, "That's not good."
I want to kill it.
Just like shake it by the shoulders, but you can't shake baby.
Can't shake a
No,
baby.
that's it. That's my first thing. Is my instinct is to kill it, but I
You
can't.
can't because it's a baby.
Help that baby live.
Checkmate,
This is
Toren.
our
Checkmate.
Oh no.
We have helped this baby live.
Oh. Yeah, that's about on par.
So take a bit of a water break. We'll check in with some stuff, and don't go nowhere.
Okay.
You have pushed me to my last resort. Devastation. I don't know the lyrics to the rest of this song.
It's okay. It's okay.
I feel like somebody did like exsanguination, no breathing for him for one of the rip-offs of that before. We did no one blanks like Gaston version of Count Strahd once, and so there were lots of recommendations on other versions of other songs.
Fantastic. Those are all his promises as he races towards the interior of Castle Ravenloft. Sigrid and Aya and Nimble and Werewolf Pal.
Don't wave goodbye.
Tornescu are up in one of the tallest towers, and Toren, Dantiir, Ezra, and Anna are at the base outside the
crushed by a falling house.
Amber Temple. Well, only if that house falls, as it shudders in the air.
Can we save the baby?
I mean, the baby says, like, of course, save the baby. Get us inside that temple, make some deals.
Who's this child?
The child looks directly at Dantiir.
Oh my god, it's like Boss Baby.
Yeah. It says, who do you think?
Can I do like an intelligence roll?
Yeah, sure.
Recognize the voice?
Do I recognize the voice?
It's very squeaky. It's
For the fuck arm.
Oh, I forgot to do the baby voice. No, okay. Who do you think, Dantiir? Kendrick, Cuthilioni?
It's got no idea.
Does he use the full name?
Yeah, he uses the full name. Like,
Dad, your dad's been reborn.
Is this Dad?
Please, no. No.
That's it.
No, I want to end 45 seconds ago. Can we go back and just like no.
Belkis Cuthilioni, I've met. Not very impressed. Only the most experienced of alchemists and science and arcane magics
It's your best friend, Toren.
could have prepared such a contingency.
That bitch.
Oh no!
The baby flips you off.
Return the gesture.
If there's any hope left, you're going to need the powers down there.
This baby is a terrible human being.
Temporarily.
I suggest you put that baby up for adoption.
Your
This
baby might be evil.
conversation at the entire time that has been happening has been interrupted by the mother, like, raising and lowering the baby each time. Yes, but speaks! He speaks!
Teenager.
It's just like, the power down there. You need to get... And it's like, this is exhausting.
Well, now we know not to take the advice of
Yep.
anything that comes
Yep.
out of this child's mouth.
At your peril, Toren Forester, and then just raise it again. At your, as the mother keeps carrying it around. To the rest of us, peril. It's like, you need changing, yes sir. All right.
Yes.
As it goes.
Lots of changing.
I almost wish it was my dad now. It's worse.
But as the cycles go and as you've experienced, if you die in Barovia, you do not leave Barovia. Though most people who are reborn do have to grow back up. So Glovia's done something to retain her consciousness here.
Something evil.
I mean, something, I guess. I'm gonna put good and evil into that. As it goes. So apologies for those in the audience if we have one for today. I never check. I'm not good at that one. But I appreciate you all the same. I have baby concerns here at home myself. Not the talking kind, but more screaming, and he needs assurances and pacifiers. So we'll need to cut it short today. Apologies. But we'll catch up with you very soon with some more happy fun times in Barovia as we're coming to that in-game for everyone, both Marvel's and ours. We'll figure some way up. Segrid will probably be there.
Crash.
Yeah, however many pieces that is, we'll all be there. Okay, and so that's us signing off for today for these happy fun times. So see ya.
Night.
Night.